Now, let's talk about a few things here. Now, again, before Mereen Faruqi, again, intentionally tries to take what I just said going into the break out of comment here, cancel, of course, does not mean anything physical, nothing violent at all. It's about the metaphorical idea about somebody losing their standing in the community as a result of saying or doing something stupid, all right? I just say that because there's the half listening and we all know how this game is played. Michael, ditch the witch, I showed everyone. We all know, we all lived through those 10 years. Where the hell is the condemnation of a person who didn't just have someone randomly run up behind them, but instead poses for a photo with a kid, and I'm sorry, yes, we're talking about a teenager here, but stands with someone holding a poster essentially saying, kill the Jews?
It just shows you the utter hypocrisy of the left, doesn't it? I mean, you know, we saw what they said about Abbott. What are they saying about this, you know, Faruqi? Nothing. They're all completely silent. Where's The Guardian and the ABC attacking her? They're not, of course. Where are the left-wing, Twitterati attacking her? Of course, they're not. But it leads to this conclusion, which is to second the remarks made by Julian Leeser yesterday in the Australian newspaper, which is it's time for the Liberal Party now to adopt a policy of putting the Greens last across Australia in every election, in every how-to-vote card, every time. There was a moment years ago where I thought they were becoming a bit more centrist on Israel and the Jewish community, but no. This is an anti-Jewish political party, to put it at its very mildest. I would use stronger words, but perhaps I shouldn't. These people should be below One Nation and below the Labor Party. They are an intolerable, disgraceful, anti-Jewish organisation, which means there's elements of racism in parts of the Green movement, and we've seen them attend rallies where people have been yelling out, from the river to the sea, which is calling for a Holocaust against Israel and the Jewish people, etc., etc., etc. There is no place for the Green movement anywhere in any parliament in this country because of their disgusting, vile views. And the Liberal Party now must put them last everywhere as an article of faith. And congratulations to Julian Leeser for pointing that out. And also, by the way, for calling for an inquiry, perhaps a royal commission into anti-Semitism in Australian universities, which is now at dangerous levels.
James, what can happen in the Senate? I know you can't boot somebody out. She's there to represent, as she does. But surely tomorrow, all bar her colleagues can have some sort of censure for somebody who does not fully apologise in any way, shape or form for the image that was sent around the internet.
Well, Paul, the Greens are the first people to come into the Senate chamber and demand others be censured for things that they have said or done that crosses their imaginary lines of offence. And they have a frankly very low bar for that. Anything mildly out of step with their worldview, anything mildly that strays from the politically correct line, they think should be censured. Frankly, actually, I don't agree with this principle of going in and censuring senators. We're all elected democratically to represent our constituents, and we all be judged by our constituents, not by each other. We're not a club that judges each other. It's our constituents who decide whether we should be there and what we should say. And actually, it's electorate that needs to punish the Greens. And this is a disgracefully irresponsible and dangerous thing for them to do. To post for this photo, to post this photo, to realise after people pointed out what was in there, delete it but not apologise for it, reflects very poorly on Mereen Faruqi, reflects very poorly on the Greens, who of course were fanning the flames of these protests to begin with, and it's totally unsurprising we've seen acts of anti-Semitism at them. So they should hang their heads in shame and they should deal with this themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen, organisationally, I get why the numbers matter, the numbers always matter, but at some point, the Liberal Party and the Labor Party at times need to preference each other because there are detestable options on the ballot, including in this case, the Greens.
Yeah, look, I mean, the Greens political party are just filth, just absolute filth. I mean, the sort of anti-Semitic outpouring that they're encouraging. There are children afraid to go to school in their uniforms. There are people afraid to go to their synagogue to worship. And if this was in any way happening to Muslims around mosques, there will be an outcry. And Australians need to stand up, and particularly Australians who believe or think they're on the progressive left side of politics. When you walk in a march, when you stand next to people who are chanting from the river to the sea, you are calling for the extermination of the state of Israel. This is not Labor policy. This is not left policy. You are barracking for Hamas's policy. And Hamas are a barbaric organisation that should be hunted down for what they did. And it is just extraordinary that she refuses to apologise or tries to pretend it didn't happen. And she deserves the full force of condemnation, whether it's in the chamber or outside of the chamber, for what she's doing. But tragically, she's not alone. The entire Greens political party are just filth.
Well, as I say, supplement the word Jews for any race, any sexuality, any gender, and what would everyone's reaction be? Why is it this? So test for the PM. We'll see where we are in 24 hours. Lads, do appreciate it. Sorry we got distracted with polls. There are lots of other issues to get to. We shall do so again soon.